Welcome to Murrieta vs. Temecula. This is the smackdown you've all been waiting for. Murrieta, you have a hot springs resort, Tenaya Falls, over 1,300 acres of trail spaces, parks, and natural areas with over 20 wineries and breweries. Temecula, you have Harveston Community Lake, the Temecula Mall, Old Town Temecula, championship golf, hot air balloon adventures, and award-winning wineries. Stay tuned to the end. I'm gonna reveal what restaurant is owned in Temecula by a Breaking Bad actor, that show on Netflix that most of you have heard of. And you may be surprised on what city has significantly higher crime rates. This surprised me. Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Aaron Lanning, your favorite realtor. Make sure you download our relocation guides, links below. Now, I live in Menifee and I love Menifee, but today we have a head-to-head comparison of Murrieta versus Temecula. So if you're thinking of buying in this area, then number one, you have to consider one of these two cities for sure, if it fits the budget. And number two, I'm gonna help you weigh the pros and cons of each one and help you find a pretty cool restaurant to eat at. So I'm gonna open this video up with giving you a high level overview of some of the things the cities are known for. Does that mean you should pick that city for those specific items? Absolutely not. Because if you live in Murrieta, you can easily go to the Temecula wineries. And if you live in Temecula, you can easily use some of the trails and spaces and parks in Murrieta. I've grown up in this valley my whole life. I've lived in every city here. So let's talk about some of the real data that should influence whether you buy in Murrieta or Temecula. First up is the cost of living. So the first thing to consider is the cost of living, right? Murrieta has consistently ranked as one of the top choices due to its lower housing costs. Now I'm gonna provide a link below to an excellent website that breaks this down, but essentially anything under 100 indicates a lower cost of living compared to the national average, while anything over 100 indicates a higher cost of living compared to the national average. So Murrieta ranks at 131.2, which is exactly what Temecula ranks at. And this is the third time I've come across an exact tie on the cost of living between two cities. First time was with Menifee versus Paris, and then Menifee versus Winchester. So if you're thinking about moving to this area, those are other cities you might want to consider as well. They considered these following items when they factor in the index of cost of living: cost of housing, food, childcare, transportation, healthcare, taxes, and other necessities. So in April 2024, the average purchase price of a home in Murrieta was $721,000 versus Temecula, which was $901,000. Now, I bet you're a bit like me and confused as why they're indexed at exactly the same cost of living. Temecula homes are way more expensive. That does seem confusing. Now I'm gonna throw it up on the screen here. I looked up all the homes for sale in Temecula, Murrieta that are single family homes with 3 bedrooms exactly and 2 bathrooms. Those are considered starter homes. Temecula had 9 listings available, Murrieta had 10. Now there was actually 5 more homes that fit that criteria, but they were $1 million or more. So I'm not really sure how that website factors in the index of cost of living, as I do see Temecula being a little bit higher cost of living. Homes are generally a little bit less expensive in Murrieta, as I threw that graphic on the screen of the average sales price. Now, on average, homes in Murrieta are about 17 years old. In Temecula, on average, they're about 20 years old. Of course, there's older homes and there are some newer ones. But both of these cities will work for you. You're just gonna pay a little bit more in Temecula. Now, point number 2, education. So the second thing to consider is the educational system. Schools, schools, schools. This is why many people move here. Now keep in mind, due to the fair housing laws, it is essential to conduct your own research. But there's always a but. A valuable resource for this is greatschools.org. Tons of insight into school performance and can help you make informed decisions about your child's education. But I'm gonna show you some screenshots from that website. And Temecula has more schools than Murrieta, and Murrieta actually has more people than Temecula. But both districts rate very, very well. The third thing I consider is the commuting, the connectivity, and the growth of the city. And as we consider those items, in Murrieta, it is growing pretty quickly still. There are some new developments happening. Brand new Costco off Clinton Keith. Murrieta is well connected. It's got 5 total districts. You got 2 major highways running through the city of Murrieta, the 15 and the 215 freeway. You have major improvements at the corridor of the 215-15 freeway. And when that's done, This will be nice. And it's probably gonna come out super awkward. That's cool. Just me by myself in the room. Now, Murrieta has a new community called Willow Springs by Lennar. Fantastic gated community. Just made a video on that. Temecula has some new residential and commercial developments happening as well. But Temecula is known for its beautiful wine country. Both of these cities are in Riverside County, close to Los Angeles and San Diego. When I say close, I'm talking about 60 to 70 miles away from LA, typically about 1.5 to 2 hours drive from downtown LA, about 60 minutes north of San Diego, usually about an hour, hour and a half drive. So this is in a very good location if you do have to go to LA or San Diego often. Now, as of May 2024, Murrieta has an estimated 116,000 people, while Temecula has an estimated 113,000 people. Both cities have a stable tax base, decent growth, and Temecula started to build several townhomes and luxury apartments right off of Winchester Road. So more traffic coming. Now, I'm not sure if the sphere of influence of Temecula is included in that population, but they fall under the sphere of influence of the school districts of Temecula. Fourth thing to consider is the things to do. So that's the fourth thing I look at. Murrieta offers plenty of outdoor activities, hiking, Santa Rosa Plateau, visiting Teneja waterfalls I mentioned earlier. The city has over 53 total parks. Copper Canyon Park, Cal Oaks Sports Park is a popular one, playgrounds, picnic areas, and some sports fields. And of course, you have a Mulligan's Family Fun Center. And then Spencer's Crossing Sports Park is a master planned community. Got some golfing at Rancho, California. And then history buffs can check out the Murrieta Veterans Memorial. There is an Old Town Murrieta. Got some cool shops and restaurants and winery and wine tasting. And of course, you can't forget Murrieta Hot Springs. Just a nice place to just relax and recently reopened to the public. On the other hand, Temecula shines pretty bright with their downtown, a mix of unique shops, restaurants, wine tasting rooms, tons of life in downtown Temecula. There are several events, festivals, a very culturally rich experience. The city of Temecula has over 39 parks. I had to count that on their website, so if I counted wrong, don't kill me. Temecula is well known for their wineries and vineyards, but definitely Old Town Temecula is my fave. Super laid back vibe. And if you like that show on Netflix, Breaking Bad, check out the Swing In Cafe, as Dean Norris took that over in 2023. I have breakfast there every month with the boys. But their biscuits and gravy comes with onions. Weird. Number 5, crime and safety. This is the fifth and final thing that I consider in a city. Most people prioritize safety when choosing a location for their home. And according to bestplaces.net, in Murrieta, the number of violent crimes per 100,000 people was only 66.1, much lower than the average for California at 441. The whole country is 379. So people feel safe living in Murrieta. It's one of the reasons I love Murrieta. Now, when looking at Temecula, the crime rate is slightly higher at 142.3. That surprised me. That's definitely something to consider, but I'm actually very surprised. I didn't know that Temecula was that higher or even higher. So when choosing between Murrieta and Temecula, just depends on your priorities. Of course, budget has a lot to do with it, but Murrieta might be a better buy right now. Prices are a little bit better, and the decision ultimately hinges on your specific preferences, location to Fallbrook or Escondido or San Diego, and if you don't want to get mugged in Temecula. Totally kidding. Love you, Temecula. We're good. That was a joke. So that's all I have for you folks. Please like, follow, subscribe if this helps you learn a little bit more about Murrieta and or the surrounding areas.